Imagine you register as a total newbie adventurer with level so low even slimes roast you. You are excited for your first real quest, but your own party betrays you faster than your iPhone 11 battery dies. And just when you think it is over for you, you get teleported straight to the deepest floor. No healing, no backup, just you, pure despair and whatever monster is waiting to eat you. But instead of dying, you discover SSS rank powers that turn you from discount background character to walking natural disaster. And now it is payback season. Betrayers, bullies, entire kingdoms, everyone who laughed at you is about to get a reality check from the level 9999 gacha god. At the start of the anime, we're told that this world was once filled with darkness until God spawned 9 different races like he was grinding a character creation screen. We get their names: dragons, elves, oni folk, dwarves, demon kin, dark elves, centaurs, beast folk, and humans. Yes, humans made the cut too, somehow. Then we jump into the story. We see a boy saying goodbye to his family. He's like, "Dad, Mom, Yuls, Yum, I'll be back soon after I become an adventurer. And when I come back all our problems will be gone." Bro was hyping himself up like he's about to return with a lost treasure. Scene shifts and our boy arrives in a new town of adventurers. He enters a guild and approaches a girl on reception who asks his name. He says Light and she's like, "Oh, so you're new in this line." He nods and she goes, "Alright, I'll put you in rank F for now. By the way, do you have any gift?" He says, "Yes, I do have Unlimited Gacha," with confidence like he's flexing a legendary skill. She was like, "What even is Unlimited Gacha?" He shows her his ability. He taps it and a card appears. The card showed a spoon. Yes, the power of unlimited spoon summon. He takes the spoon out and it immediately bends like it lost against gravity. Our boy panics saying, "No, that's not how it works." He tries again and every item that looks good in the card comes out completely destroyed. Basically, his gacha is the dollar store version of loot boxes. The receptionist looks at him like he's speedrunning stupidity. She says, "Wow, you're such a beginner. This gacha skill is literally useless." She points toward the quest board and tells him to pick something from there. Light stares at the board like it's hieroglyphics. She asks Light what's wrong. "Can't you read?" He says no. She says, "Oh right, humans struggle reading this language," and then suggests him a job. "Go to the nearby village and you can do farm work. The pay is low but it's good for you." Light gets excited for his first work and says, "Okay, fine." Scene shifts and we see him working all day. And when he gets paid, he complains that this is way too little for the effort he put in. And suddenly he bumps into a beast folk guy from the 9 races. The guy yells at him, "Hey boy, how dare you bump into me? You ruined my clothes." Light apologizes saying it was an accident. But these guys came specifically to steal his money. They pick up his coins and start leaving. Light begs them not to take it since that's his entire day's earning. But they ignore him and walk away. We learn that in this world, humans are heavily discriminated against in this world. Our boy was sitting there crying over his tragic protagonist life. Just then a beautiful girl appears and offers him her hand. Light immediately apologizes for touching her by mistake because he's in ultra simp scared mode. She says, "Don't worry, we see she's an elf." Light looks around and people nearby seem scared of her. She says, "Chill, we know you're human and we're not like those guys. We won't harm you, we're actually nice." Then her group explains that God created 9 races and their team already has 8 different races. They only need 1 human to complete a perfect 9-race squad, which will send a positive message to the world and help fight discrimination. Light was shocked and asks, "Really? You'll include me?" They say yes, of course. Light gets super happy like he won a lottery and immediately joins their team. In the next scene we see that they are on their quest, when suddenly Monster was about to attack Light because of course our hero is level 9999 in crying, not combat. The team jumps in and saves him. Light was shaking like he's seeing a horror movie alone at 3 a.m. The elf girl calms him down. The team even teases them a little, due to which the elf girl blushes slightly. Light says, "I'm useless," but the dragon dude says, "Don't worry man, you're useful. I love the tea you make. For us that's more than enough." So yeah, apparently the protagonist's greatest skill is making tea. Then we see the whole team moving deeper into the dungeon. After walking for a while the group finally stops. Light looks around and says this place looks perfect to rest for the night. He pulls out his usual legendary skill, making tea for everyone, because obviously that is the only thing he is good at in life. But just as he is about to prepare it, the dragon guy steps behind him and stops him. He says, "Your job is done." Light freezes like someone just unplugged his brain. Bro was confused like a Wi-Fi signal in the rain. He asks, "What's going on? You guys were being so nice to me a moment ago, so why are you suddenly acting like this?" The dragon guy tells him the truth and says, "We only wanted your unlimited gacha skill. We never cared about you." Light gets hit with emotional damage so hard that he forgets to breathe for a second. He asks, "What about all the promises you made, all the kindness you showed me?" They reply that everything was a lie. They tricked him into coming here so they could kill him. Light's heart breaks like every Apple charger cable ever. Before he can even react, the wolf guy steps forward forward, grows his claws, and slashes Light's face. Blood drips down and Light panics and starts running for his life, but he doesn't get far. The elf girl fires an arrow into his leg, making him fall. The wolf guy yells, "Scream louder, your voice is beautiful when you scream human." And the others join in saying human screams are so soothing, it feels like someone is singing in my ears. These psychos were enjoying it like they are at a rock concert. They surround him and were about to finish him off. Light was literally seconds away from becoming a discount corpse. But at the last moment his plot armor kicks in and he accidentally triggers a hidden teleportation trap. Just as they strike, Light disappears, teleporting him to the deepest floor of the dungeon. The whole team stands there confused like their brains just blue screened. All of them were like, where did he go? The scene shifts and we see Light is badly injured and lying on the ground in an unknown place. He was thinking, why is this happening to me? Am I even alive? How did I use teleportation? He remembers his dad, mom, and siblings. He mutters, I miss you all. He feels like this is the end. Everything hurts. He can't understand why those people betrayed him. He swears he'll kill them. If he somehow survives, he will make each of them pay. Bro has officially entered revenge anime mode. As he was thinking this, he senses something behind him. He turns and sees two giant monsters towering over him. Their level was 1,000 each. Light loses his mind and says this is impossible. I've only heard about monsters like these in stories. They don't exist in real life. Then he realizes that he has been teleported to the deepest part of the abyss. His soul leaves his body for a second, and the monsters prepare to attack. Light had no weapon, no plan, no IQ. So, he opens his Unlimited Gacha in desperation and starts tapping it like you when trying to close ads on your phone. Nothing comes out. He taps again and again. Finally, a card appears and from the card a girl emerges. And the moment the monsters swing at Light, she cuts them down in a blink. Pure instant delete. Light sits there shocked thinking what just happened. After killing the monsters, she cleans the entire area like she was speedrunning housekeeping. She turns to Light and asks, Master, are you alright? Light points at himself in doubt and says, Me? You're talking to me? She says, of course, you are my master. Light was confused like he has been hit by a cricket ball. He thinks, why is she calling me master? She kneels beside him and heals his wounds. Every injury disappears instantly. Light was stunned. He stands up and says the pain is gone. She keeps praising him saying, Master, you are amazing. You came to the deepest part of the abyss without fear. Light listens her, thinking, girl, please, my soul almost escaped my body 5 minutes ago. He asks her, who are you? She replies, I am your maid and from now on I will work for you. Whatever you say is in order. Then we see her level, which was level 9999. Light's jaw hits the floor. She tells him she came from his Unlimited Gacha. She is a super ultra rare level 9999 card. Light refuses to believe it and says no, my gacha is useless. Every card that ever came out was trash. She insists that she is extremely useful and she will stay with him until he dies. Light says stop, I don't understand anything. My gacha has always given me useless junk. She asks if she can scan him. He hesitantly says okay. She scans him and freaks out. She says, incredible, you have unbelievable power. Only someone like me could even detect it. Light was confused again. She explains that card power depends on mana which flows through everyone. Light's brain was shutting down, but she keeps explaining different types of cards, normal, rare, ultra rare and more. Light was shocked. She praises him again for coming to the deepest part of the abyss. And this finally breaks Light. He starts crying and says, no, I didn't come here because I'm brave. I was tricked. He tells her everything. She gets too angry and says, if you want, I can kill all of them within a minute. Light says, no, don't. She asks why they hurt you. Light replies, I will kill them myself, with my own hands, but to do that I must become extremely strong. She says, fine, I will help you. Light activates his gacha again. He says, I am stepping onto a new path, a path that will make me the strongest. I will take revenge on each one of them. I won't spare a single one. She says, whatever you do, I will be by your side, Master Light. 3 years go by and Light has grown up a bit, and now everywhere you look there are maids standing around calling him master like he just invented being adorable. May gets annoyed and asks that if he want, she will shoo them all away, and Light, smug as ever, says no, I do not mind their noise. He has 4 maids who were low-key jealous of May, because she used to always cling to Light like a Velcro patch and never left his side. In the next scene, we see Light walking around the kingdom he built like a proud dad. He says that the population has grown a lot this past year, which is great. They continue chatting about work. He asks May about Aoki, how is she doing with her scouting duty? May answer that Aoki did a great job. She handled scouting perfectly and praised her a little. Then he asks about how Eli is doing. Again, she was doing well too, focusing on development tasks. Light says that is good, everyone is doing their jobs properly. Then Light asks what about Najuna, is she handling ground duties well? May say yes, Najuna is doing fine too. Then we see Najuna out scouting and acting all childlike, adorable but focused. Scene shifts and we are introduced to a guy named Jack who calls Light simply Light. One of the maids snaps at him saying you should call him Master Light, and Light waves it off saying no, Jack is like an elder brother to me so he can call me by my name. Next, we see Light and Jack sparring and training hard. Jack brags that if anyone else stood in his place, Light would break their ribs. Jack says he can literally harden his body like iron so your punches probably would not even faze him. Light takes the throws and keeps practicing like the overqualified potato he is. Meanwhile, the four maids catch Najuna and whisper to her that she is very good, then nudge her toward a task. They ask Najuna whether she has ever investigated Light's private room, and she replies, why would I? They remind her that it is her duty and push her to go inspect. Najuna goes and knocks on Light's door pretending to tidy up. Just as she enters the room, she finds May already there. She says she is fixing his room even though Light is not there. May insists that it's her duty and she will do it. Najuna then hands her a letter written by those four maids. May asks her to read it. Najuna reads aloud what four of them wrote, complaining that May always acts like she owns the place and never lets them clean Light's room. They blame her for being selfish and insist that everyone deserves a chance to clean the master's room. Hearing this, May gets angry and sends Najuna away. Then we see Light and Jack, who were finishing a brutal training session. They relax and chat. Jack tells Light that he has become very strong but warns him never to drop his guard. When Light goes up to the surface world, he will surely meet someone stronger, so never let your guard down. Light replies that he will remember that advice forever. Later, May calls the four maids together and snaps at them, alright, spill it. Who wrote that letter? The four of them all stammer no, we didn't write anything. But once May gives them the death glare, they cave and blurt out, yes, we wrote it. May asks why, what's your problem? They explain, trembling, that May is the head maid and always gets first dibs on cleaning Light-sama's room. They want a fair shot too. Classic workplace jealousy, but with more bows and fewer HR forms. May coolly assigns them a punishment task. She says fine, here's what you'll do, clean the entire hall, every corner, non-stop. The maids panic like someone told them they have to fold 1,000 bedsheets by sunrise. How will we do this? They cry. May shrugs and says I don't care, it's your job. Now go and finish it. Scene cuts to Najuna doing her thing again, and Eli walks up. Eli asks Najuna what she's doing. Najuna says she was just watching. Eli asks if Najuna finished her investigation. Najuna says yes, she did. Eli says good and mentions she herself completed her task and that she's planning to take Light-sama out for coffee tomorrow, just the two of them. Najuna immediately announces that that is unfair and that she also deserves time alone with Light. Classic maid catfight brewing. Eli rolls her eyes and mutters that Najuna is basically a child and leaves. Meanwhile, the four maids were plotting something. They sit together scheming about how to get back at May. Their gripe is that May has been with Light before anyone else, and who knows what the two of them did back then. We can literally see dramatic jealous imaginations and a chorus of I want her gone in their eyes. They repeat that line like a broken record and start spiraling into full-on envy mode. But May overhears everything. She walks straight up to them and says, you were talking about him. The maids realize they are busted. They scramble to change the subject, but May wasn't buying it. She asks them again what they were plotting. The maids' lies collapse and they start confessing and stuttering. May then ups the ante and says fine, since you're so keen on chores, you will now clean the throne room as well, and the whole place where we gather. You will clean everything. The maids stare at May like she's gone insane. They say, are you crazy? How are we supposed to clean that entire area? May says I don't know and I don't care. You're doing it because Master Light and I are going to the surface soon to complete the mission we've been preparing for over 3 years. The maids realize they have 0 options. Clean or die trying. Next day arrives and Light meets Eli, Najuna, and Ayako at the same time. Light treats Ayako especially kindly, which immediately sparks jealousy in the other two. Suddenly a monster appears. Light freezes with trauma flashbacks from 3 years ago. The 3 girls jump in shouting, how dare you appear before Master Light. Light calms them, saying relax, it won't hurt me. The monster literally sits like a puppy. Light pats it gently and says listen carefully. Our time has come. We're going to the surface. We must complete our mission. Scene shifts to the surface city, the city of wolves. We see Garu, one of the scumbags who tried to kill Light 3 years ago. The crowd was hyping him up like he's a celebrity boxer. They scream, you're so strong, I have never seen anyone stronger. Garu was basking in the lies like a full-time narcissist. He goes into a bar, pounds back beers and brags to his goons, drink all you want, I'm loaded with cash, I'll treat you to a big party. His goons shower him with fake praise like cheap perfume. Then one of the guys asks, hey, tell us what happened 3 years ago when that kid died. Nobody knows the truth. Another guy freaks out and says, are you stupid? Why are you asking that? Gaara shuts them up and says, I can't talk about that. In his mind, he thinks about how embarrassing that day was. He doesn't even know where Light disappeared to. He assumes that Light died because nobody ever returns alive from the abyss. Suddenly Mei arrives, and we see Mei talking to Gaara and his group. She tells them that Light belonged to a noble family and she came searching for him. People told her that Light was last seen with their group, so she asks if they can take her to where Light died. Gaara says sure, but what's in it for me? Mei offers a lot of money, as much as he wants. Gaara, being a greedy potato, immediately agrees. Gaara thinks a little longer and then mentally laughs about his evil plan. He's thinking just a little further and then I'll kill this girl too. They arrive at the exact place where Gaara betrayed Light. Gaara says this is where my brother, Light, disappeared. We tried to save him but the monsters killed him. We couldn't do anything. The acting was so bad he could win a Razzie. Mei kneels at the spot, grieving. Gaara tells his goons to block the exits so she cannot escape. As he prepares to attack, Mei suddenly speaks and says, you made a terrible mistake. If I had been here that day, none of this would have happened. I am ashamed I wasn't with Master Light. Hearing that, Gaara panics hard. He steps back 3 whole steps. He shouts, who are you? Your voice sounds different. Did someone send you? Are you a spy? Are you here to kill me? Mei looks up and says, a spy? And at that moment the wind picks up dramatically like anime directors discovered the fan button. Everyone was terrified. They finally realize that she is insanely powerful. Then a calm voice says, relax. They are mine to kill. Gaara looks behind him and sees a cloaked figure. The figure removes the hood and everyone gets shocked. It was Light. Gaara's soul instantly leaves his body. Light says, Gaara, your payback time has finally arrived. I waited 3 years for this moment. Gaara's goons panic and ask, boss, who is that? Gaara admits that this is the same Light I tried to kill, but he shrugs it off saying, so what if he survived? I'll kill him today. He commands his men to attack. They rush forward and in less than a second Mei slices their heads off clean. 2 heads gone before they can even blink. Gaara's remaining goons lose their minds. They scream, how can a human girl be this fast? Mei warns them, anyone who attacks Light will die instantly. Light says, no, these are my prey. Step back. Mei respects his order and withdraws. The remaining goons charge at Light and he easily defeats them, tossing them aside like empty water bottles. Gaara realizes that Light has grown strong. He smirks and says, fine, you improved, but now you'll face my strongest card. He summons a Fenrir, a giant wolf monster of level 500. Gaara says, let's see you beat this. A human's max level is 100, so you can't possibly even stand against it. But Light doesn't waste time. He summons his own divine Fenrir, and that too of level 9000. Gaara's soul instantly breaks into 99 pieces. Light's Fenrir deletes Gaara's Fenrir in 1 second flat. Not even a fight, just blink and your pet is gone. At this point Gaara knows his funeral music has started playing in the background. Light steps forward and asks calmly, I will ask only one question. If you answer correctly, maybe I'll let you go. Gaara's goons shout, what is it? Light asks, tell me what masters means. Why did you people think I was master that day? Why did you beat me even after I told you I wasn't? Gaara's goons start screaming that they won't tell him anything. Mei casually beheads all of them at once like she is cutting onions and says we hate interruptions. Gaara almost dies from fear right there. He realizes nothing can save him now. He falls to his knees, begging, please forgive me, I made a mistake, I'll do anything, give me one chance. He literally pees himself in fear. The villain aura was gone, replaced with wet pants energy. Light says I only asked one thing, just answer that. Gaara says I swear I don't know. I seriously don't know anything about masters. Light says fine, is that the truth? Gaara nods desperately. Light asks another question. The ones who mistook me for masters and sent you to kill me, if I attack them, will I win? Before Gaara can lie, Light warns him. If you lie, Mei will know and then you'll die. So, think carefully. Gaara gulps and tells the truth. You are strong, but those people are way stronger. Your chances of winning are low. Light says, oh really? Then let me show you something. He teleports Gaara and Mei straight to his castle. And what Gaara sees there was beyond unbelievable. Light had an entire army standing before him. The moment Light appears, they all kneel in unison. Gaara feels every atom of fear vibrating inside him. Light walks to his throne and sits like a boss who just cleared emotional trauma mode. Light tells his army, show your levels. And when Gaara sees their levels, he practically faints. Not a single one is below 1500. Gaara says that this Light right here is basically the god of destruction. He can wipe the world in 1 minute. Gaara looks at them and realizes that this is beyond nightmares. Light turns to Gaara and asks again, now tell me, if I go to war against them, will I win? Gaara couldn't speak. Not a single word comes out. Only tears fall from his eyes. He was too terrified to form sentences. Light sighs and says, I have learned everything I needed to know. Gaara asks trembling, what do you want? Do you want to become a god? Or something else? Light says no. I just want to teach a lesson to the people who caused my trauma, the ones who destroyed my past. And after that I'll decide if I want to be a god or not. In the next scene, Light returns to his village, back to Mom and his siblings. But the whole village was wrecked. His house was destroyed and he's left standing there like someone just unplugged his childhood. He was furious and doesn't know who did it. Then it clicks. Maybe the same people who tried to kill me 3 years ago are behind this mess. He decides he's going to find his family no matter what. From that moment, Light takes on a new name. He tells his crew, "Call me Dark from now on, because nobody should know my original identity." Gold, the big guy who worked for Light, says fine. Then they set out wearing masks, so nobody recognizes them as they search for Light's family. Later, while scouting through the forest, they spot a kid and his father being kidnapped. The gang swoops in and wrecks the kidnappers faster than you can say, plot convenience. The rescued kid was ecstatic that they just owned a pack of thugs like it's a tutorial boss. Light tells them that they're heading to the town to join a guild, and the old man offers to escort them. He tells Light that he runs an inn in that town and says that if you ever need lodging, my hotel will always be open for you. His kid was thrilled and keeps gushing about how strong Light's group was. They reach the kingdom. The old man says, "Alright, we arrived. You guys can head to the guild now." But his son was suspicious. How can such powerful people not already be part of a guild? Did they not join yet, or are they hiding something? In the next scene, Light walks into the guild to register as an adventurer and sees that humans are still treated like trash at the counter. The clerk lady says she can't give Mr. Dark any high rank because he's just starting and hasn't officially joined. Nemu snaps at her for insulting Lord Dark, but Light intervenes, apologizes on behalf of his friend like a polite chaos magnet, and says you can give whatever rank you want to give us. The clerk stamps their rank. Nemu apologizes to Light profusely, literally sobbing and offering up her right to exist because of how embarrassed she was. Gold teases her, and she tells him to shut up. In the next scene we see the kid Light rescued. He runs up to his father excited, shouting, "Father, look who's here." And we see Light arriving at the inn. The group tell the innkeeper that we want the entire top floor of your hotel. He blinks but says fine, take it. Light asks for it to be locked for a month and that no one, not even the innkeeper or his maids, come upstairs. The owner thinks for a second and agrees. Light hands over a pile of money like it is pocket change and says if it is not enough, I will pay more. The innkeeper was like, no, this is way too much, thanks. Sunset comes, and they move into their rooms. Light tells everyone to relax because for the next month no one will be bothering them. Nemu floats over and speaks like she has a soap opera script ready. She tells Light she knows why he came. He's here for revenge. She even offers that if he wants, she can take his revenge for him. Light snaps so hard that his temperature spikes. "How dare you offer to take my revenge," he says. "That is mine and mine alone." Nemu immediately backpedals. She gets up close, apologizes, and promises to never say anything like that again. Next scene, the crew heads to the dungeon. They were standing in queue to enter the dungeon, but just then two mysterious men arrive and cut the line. They stand in front of a group of kid adventurers and the kids were frozen, unable to speak. Light steps out and says calmly that you guys should be in line. You do not cut in front of others. The sword guy laughs and says, "Do you even know who you are talking to?" And he tries to draw his huge sword. But just then his buddy calms him down, explaining that drawing a blade in public could kill a lot of people. The big sword guy grumbles but backs off for now and warns that he will see Light later. People praise Light for stepping in and the kids thank him too. The crew then enters the dungeon. Inside, Light kills monsters casually, like he's sweeping crumbs. Then Light notices the kids from earlier fighting goblins and winning, which impresses him. He greets them like old acquaintances and they were thrilled to seeing Light. Suddenly, herd of wolves start stampeding from the woods. Everyone panicked and wanted to flee because they thought the wolves would attack them. But Light says no, they won't attack. Something far worse is coming. And sure enough, a massive beast appears from the forest. Meanwhile, the big sword guy was still pissed about his level. He grumbles that he needs a higher level. He was not made for such a low rank. His glasses-wearing buddy tells him he needs to train more. The big guy was proud of his level 1500 and says it must be maximized and he will not spare those kids. Meanwhile, back in the field we see that everyone froze when the massive ant showed up. The kids were terrified and said that it is impossible to defeat it. Ants of that species were wiped out years ago. How is it back? They suggest running and informing the guild that the ant has returned. Light yells, "Stop, we will deal with it ourselves." Nobody believes him, but as the ant attacks, Gold charges in and slashes at it with his sword. But his sword slashes don't even scratch it. Nemu snaps, "Are you actually useless or what? Move aside, I'll handle it." Light cuts in like a caffeine-fueled drama king and says no, my turn. He calls out, release, and then fires a volley of fire arrows so thick it looks like the sky started spamming. The ant dodges them and bounces the whole attack back, sending the group flying. The kids freak out and shout to their sister Mia, use your magic, help them. Mia was hyped seeing all the magic and goes, are you insane? Do you not see how strong Mr. Dark's magic is? I can't even match it, this is next level. Gold steps up and says, watch me. I'll teach you how to beat an opponent, but the ant slams him from behind. Gold blocks the blow, and with that block alone the ant's entire leg shatters into pieces. Kids lose their minds seeing this. One block and the ant's limb was wrecked. He follows up and severs another leg with a second strike. Light grins and jokes, hey, don't hog all the fun, I want in too. He calls another fire arrow and this time controls the barrage with surgical precision. Mia loses it in awe and says, 30 arrows at once and he's controlling them? Impossible. But this is Light, so of course he can do that. The ant realizes that it's been outplayed and tries to run. But Light says not so fast and creates a ring of fire to trap it. Mia was straight up fangirling now, calling him amazing. Then Light says, Nemu, your turn. Nemu leaps in and finishes the ant in one clean strike. Gold mutters, oops, you overdid it again. You smashed it so thoroughly we can't even collect all the stones in it. They rummage around and finally pull out one glowing stone. The rescued kids come over, thanking them. Mia's brother bows saying, thank you so much. You saved our lives. By the way, what's your class? Light answer F. He's shocked and shouts, F? That's even below me. How can people with that low rank be so strong? Mia strolls forward, summons water, and says here, wash your faces, you're filthy. Everyone rinses up and she declares, all good now. Then the kids' crew offers Light, if you want, you can stay with us, we have food and a tent. Also, my sister wants to talk to you more, she admires your magic. Seeing them so excited, Light agrees. In the next scene they all were camping and Mia thanked Light for saving them. Mia's brother reveals that their parents are dead, and now it's his turn to enroll Mia in a proper magic school because it's her dream to become a magician. Mia's friends tell her that don't forget, we're with you. Your dream is our dream too. Light watches and actually feels happy seeing how supportive her friends are. He says that's a good thing. They all eat together, laugh, talk, and basically spend the entire night doing a group podcast without cameras. By the next day, Light's fake name, Dark, has spread around the dungeon like a viral meme. People now know him, and Light says perfect, that's exactly what I wanted, recognition. On the other side of the dungeon, the big sword guy was collecting monsters' corpses with his creepy glasses friend, and they were planning something dark, and now they wanted to experiment on humans. Scene shifts back to Light. A group stops him and says, hey, you're Dark, right? Light was confused and they explain that everyone here knows him by that name. Nemu is instantly offended and scolds them for speaking casually to Lord Dark. They panic and explain, no, you misunderstand, we're not disrespecting him, we're cheering him on. Someone is finally helping us humans rise. Usually everyone here treats us like garbage, but because Mr. Dark killed that ant, people are starting to believe humans can be strong. Light hears this and gets genuinely happy. That's the best reward for him so far. In the next scene, Light enters the dungeon again and meets the same kids. This time Mia has brought a gift for him. Light was staring at the gift awkwardly. Mia apologizes saying if you don't like it I'll take it back. Light smiles and says no, I love it, I'll keep it. He gives her a bracelet in return. Mion blushes and says it is beautiful. Light looks pleased. He wishes them good luck and leaves. Light and his team head to a frozen region and he tells his group, you guys handle things here. I'm heading back. He returns to his castle where his entire army was assembled. He asks them how preparations are going. May says that everything is running smoothly. Light assigns each of them their roles and tells them the time is coming. They all promise to complete their tasks with full dedication. Scene shifts again and the two men who earlier praised Light were chatting when one excuses himself to go to the toilet. He returns to a nightmare. All three of his teammates were dead, killed by none other than the big sword guy, who turns out to be an elf. The elf sneers, you humans are trash. You don't deserve to live. The surviving guy was shocked. When did you kill them? Why didn't I hear anything? How did this happen? Realizing he'll be next, he starts running. The elf and glasses guy chase him, injuring him badly. Just before he dies, glasses guy says don't kill him, let him live. He's useless anyway. They take him wounded and bleeding for their experiment. In the next scene, Light, disguised as Dark, and his two sidekicks Gold and the loudmouth Nemu, Shiwa are arguing with the guild accountant. She was yelling like she owns the place, demanding to know why the guild dared to to keep giving Dark such trash ranks. She starts acting like the guild owes them VIP service. The accountant calmly says she already upgraded Dark from F to D, so what more do they want? But no, she wanted nothing less than S rank or maybe something even above that if possible. The accountant tries explaining that the world does not run on her mood swings, and just because she demands something does not mean guild policy breaks down. Gold meanwhile gives up and calls the accountant useless. Scene shifts and our three heroes head back to their hotel where they were reading a quest plate about an adventure killer who has been hunting adventurers. Apparently if they defeat him, their rank will skyrocket. Gold and Nemu tell Light that he should relax and let them handle the mission, but Light stops them and says they will do it together. Nemu warns the mission might be dangerous and suggests calling for backup, but Light says nope, they can handle it just fine. While they were talking, Light suddenly senses something. A portal opens and Mia falls out in terrible condition. Her bracelet breaks and she collapses in front of him. Mia kept muttering that she has to reach Dark Sama and tell him the truth. Dark heals her and apologizes for not being there when she needed him. He warns her that he is about to read her memories and puts her under hypnosis. Inside her mind we see Mia and her brother with a small group of adventurers packing up to leave because they heard about the adventure killer. They were scared and trying to get out before sunset. While resting, a group of two suspicious men arrives. Mia and her brother warn them that killers are roaming around, but the men start laughing like villains in a discount movie trailer. One guy with glasses reveals that they themselves are the killers. Mia's brother tries to defend everyone, but the sword guy literally slices him in one hit. The other two kids also rush in and get taken down just as easily. They yell at Mia to run, but she freezes from shock. The elf then goes after her, but her brother suddenly stands up bleeding and still fights to protect her. The elf strikes him again, and then the glasses guy scolds him for killing someone who would have been useful for experiments. While they were arguing, Mia takes the chance and runs for her life. The elf chases her through the forest and almost kills her, but at the last second her bracelet teleports her straight to Light. Back in the present, Light sees everything from Mia's memories and says now it is their turn to act. Meanwhile, the killers were trying to heal Mia's brother for their experiments when the elf returns saying Mia got away. The glasses guy completely loses it and calls him stupid because if Mia reaches Dark or the guild, everything will be exposed and their big evil dreams will collapse. They argue like two kids in a playground until they finally decide to look for Mia. And right then Light appears behind them like the final boss intro and asks who they were planning to search for. They recognize him as the kid who mocked them earlier and immediately start threatening him. On the other side, we see Light healing Mia's brother completely and apologizing to her fallen friends. Light steps forward, furious that these guys killed innocent kids who were just trying to find their own place in the world. Light tells the killers they are about to experience a punishment worse than death. He literally promises to make them beg for mercy and still not give it. The elf gets angry and attacks, but Light dodges everything like he unlocked Ultra Instinct at level 0. The guy keeps screaming and swinging while Light casually asks him if this is really the best he can do. The elf boosts up with fire magic, but Light blocks it with a full barrier, which makes the elf even more confused. He calls Light a lying mage pretending to be a kid and keeps talking nonsense like a discount anime villain. Then he reveals something wild. He says his bloodline comes from Masters and he was born from Master's blood. Light pauses and asks him what he knows about Mistura. The elf laughs and says he knows everything because Master's blood is inside him. He tells Light that he is a descendant of a master, a kind of submaster, which means things in the plan suddenly change. Light snaps his fingers and says, okay Nemu and Gold, take him with us to the abyss. I want to read those guys like an open book. Nemu and Gold grin and suit up to fight. Opposite them, Yannick scoffs and says I am a scientist not a fighter, but then he gestures to two figures behind him and those two mutate into grotesque human-monster hybrids. One of them looks familiar to Light because it is that human adventurer he met before. Light gets furious and orders Nemu and Gold to tear them down. Fight breaks out and Nemu and Gold go full combo mode and kill the hybrids, but surprisingly they immediately regenerate and stand back up. Yannick taunts them that his hybrids are tougher than that and that they need better. The monsters swarm Nemu and Gold, but they hold on. Meanwhile, Kaito was using sword clones to pressure Light. Light dodges every strike like he was skipping ads on a streaming site. Scene flips back to Nemu delivering wave after wave of attacks. The hybrids heal each time so it looks hopeless. Gold also unloads his skills, but the monsters keep shrugging it off. Yannick mocks them and tells them to accept defeat. Then Gold decides he is not letting these things go on any further. He and Nemu pull out their heavy stuff, certain death moves and judgmental fair acts, and go all in like some endgame collab. Yannick laughs until he realizes the hybrids are not regenerating anymore. They collapse and just evaporate. Nemo lands a vindictive kick to Yannick's special part and the guy goes down from smug to puddle. Meanwhile, Light teases him that he wanted to fight, so why is he flinching now? Kaito spits back, releases real power into his blade and swings like a man trying to prove a point. Light avoids everything with almost lazy ease and notes that Kaito has enchanted his blade with many magic types. The sword stretches and whips like it is both a blade and a whip now. Light calls his technique interesting but empty on conviction. Kaito freaks and attacks harder. Kaito begs Light to stop dodging and claims that if he had actually hit Light, none of this would be said because Light would already be dead. Light answers "Try me," then stands still waiting to be hit. Kaito pours everything into an assault only to watch Light take it like a damp breeze. The sword whip snaps and breaks under the strain. Light strolls in, punches Kaito in the gut, kicks him across the room, and then says he has a lot of questions so he will not kill him yet. He will only kill him when Kaito begs for death. That line hits Kaito like a truck. He panics and pleads for mercy, then starts spilling names and promises to give him the Phantasma-class sword Grandius if Light spares him. He chews through titles, begs not to die, claims he was once destined to become White Knight Captain. Light mocks him harshly. He says real heroes never give up, even when everything is hopeless, like those legends Elio and Vidi did. Light gives him a choice and says if Kaito manages to nick him even once, Light will let him go, but Kaito runs. Light teleports a solar flare card to blast Kaito's legs and pins him down. Then Light calls him what he is, a scumbag, not a legendary hero. In the next scene, Light tells Gold ND Nemu to take Gamera and Wordy back to Abyss for proper burial, as leaving them her would not be right because the dungeon has too many monsters. Kaito asks what about us, and Light says you are coming too because he has questions. Then he flashes a teleport card and drags the whole lot into his castle. Yannick and Kaito wake up in Light's deepest chambers and both freak when Light reveals that this is his home base. They get the full welcome committee treatment. Mei, Nazuna and Ellie arrive and greet Light like this was all planned. Light tells them these two are criminals who did horrific human experiments and killed people. He brought them so they can spill everything they know about masters. The girls get ready to murder on sight, but Light stops them. He says not a single kill until he squeezes every secret out of them. Light puts Gold on healing duty for Elio while Nemu goes to bury the dead. In the inn, Light wakes Mia. She asks where she is and Light tells her the inn where his party slept. Mia asks about the others. Elio was lying on a bed, healed already, and Light says he took care of him with his healing magic. Mia asks about Gamera and Vidi and Light gives her their hair, which means they are dead. Mia cries and thanks him. It is a quiet human moment and Light steps outside. Back at Guild, the receptionist lady praises Light and bumps him to C class for solving the quest, reporting that the murders were committed by an elf and a dark elf and that he rescued 2 victims. Light accepts the promotion like a subtle flex. Back at the inn, Elio tells Light that his party plans to quit adventuring and go home. Light says that it is a shame and that they should at least try to find other adventurers to keep the dream alive. Mia says she is too scared to go back into dungeons after what happened. Elio says making a new party without those two feels wrong. Mia decides she will study magic by herself and craft her way up. She promises Light they will meet again. Light watches them leave through the window and tells Gold and Nemu he is heading out. At the castle, May hands Light a dossier. Ellie explains that the term submaster or descendant of a master is used for blood relatives who level up quickly and might destabilize the world if left unchecked. May says it is hard to draw conclusions right now. Light decides that if they get no more solid leads, the White Knight Captain is their only trail. He asks about Kaito and Yannick's condition and Elia show them both in terrible shape. Light releases a card and ghosts swarm devour the two, finishing their humiliation. Light then checks with Ellie on plan status. She says preparations are done and they are ready to begin the revenge on the White Knights, starting with capturing them because many are submasters. Ellie points out the vice captain is engaged to Sasha, so he will make a perfect useful hostage. Light grins and says then let us begin. Scene jumps to White Knight Vice Captain Michael on a date with Sasha. She brags about the Light incident and they humiliate humans together like they are in a cringe couple's cosplay. Light later muses that when Sasha begs him for mercy, he will be curious to see her face. After Sasha's little date with Michael, she returns home with her maid, still riding the post-date glow, and the maid even comments that Sasha and Michael look like a great couple. But that mood evaporates fast when a human slave drops a cart of food in the middle of the road because an elf started whipping him for literally no reason. Sasha just sits there bored, thinking about how useless humans are, because in her mind they exist solely to inconvenience her. While she waits for the road to clear, she glances outside and spots a familiar silhouette walking through an alley. The sight hits her like a horror jump scare. She jumps out of her carriage and sprints into the alley, desperate to confirm that the figure isn't Light. After searching the entire place and finding nothing, she tries convincing herself that she imagined it because Light died years ago. But then she turns around and sees sees a note pinned to the wall. It tells her to come to the giant tower and it is signed by Light himself. She immediately breaks down. Her maid rushes in and finds Sasha on her knees panicking because if Light is actually alive, she will lose everything she gained from killing him. That means her noble title, the reward money, and even her engagement to Michael. Up on a nearby rooftop, Light and Ellie watch Sasha's meltdown unfold. For Light, this is revenge step 1. But Ellie has something much nastier planned for her. And Sasha is not the only elf about to get karma served. Meanwhile, at the White Knight camp, 2 knights named Nia and Kia were having the time of their twisted lives using a human slave as a human dartboard. In the corner, Sharfat has his face buried in the plots of a slave because if she refuses, she might be the next dart target. This entire meeting was supposed to be about cleaning up the disaster Kaito caused. After stealing the holy sword Grandius, he went around killing adventurers and was defeated by a human, so the White Knights are being sent to cover it up. Sharfat complains that they shouldn't have to fix Kaito's mistakes, but Musk reminds him that Kaito was one of them. His crimes reflect on all the White Knights. Sharfat keeps trying to enjoy his slave pillow, while the screams from the dartboard victim become so irritating that he tells the sisters to just kill the man already. They refuse, saying they bought him so they get to torture him however they want. The captain has been holding his temper this whole time, but now he has had enough. He snaps at them to be quiet, and the force in his voice was so terrifying it literally kills a bird flying overhead. When silence finally settles, he tells Nia and Kia it's disgraceful to torment their victims that long. Then he orders Sharfat to end the slave's suffering. Sharfat obeys, points a finger, and instantly blows the man's head clean off. Then the captain commands the sisters to dispose of the body and tells the girl on Sharfat's lap that she is free to go. Terrified, she runs. The captain then warns Sharfat not to mingle too much with humans. Elves often breed with human slaves to make submasters, but if Sharfat messes around too much he will thin out the bloodline. Sharfat laughs it off and says there's nothing to worry about. He was never planning to have a child with her anyway. In fact, he got bored of her and might shoot her later for fun. He even invites the captain to join in. The captain declines, saying he hates humans, but torture isn't really his hobby. What matters now is resolving the mess involving Kaito, because he cannot let anything tarnish their queen's image. Back with Sasha, she tries to sleep but wakes up in terror when she sees a giant tower emerging from the forest. It matches the note Light left her and her blood runs cold. If the White Knights reach that tower first, they will discover she never killed Light. Her entire carefully crafted life will crumble. She needs to reach that tower herself, even if it kills her. The next morning, a slave trader was traveling with a cart full of human children. Suddenly, a rock chimera appears. The trader immediately abandons the kids and runs for his life, but the chimera does not attack them. It simply sniffs around, making it clear it is not interested in harming humans. Later, elves across the city begin suffering a food shortage because the trade routes have become infested with monsters. Everyone suspects it has something to do with the giant tower. The nation is stretched thin and offers a big reward for information. Light, Gold, and Nemu mingle with the adventurers pretending to be normal, but a couple of elves notice Nemu. Even though she is human, they think she is hot and try to recruit her into their party. Nemu politely threatens them by telling them to get lost because Light is the only one she will ever serve. Light calmly tells them to walk away while they can. The elves get offended that a human dared to ignore them, so one throws a punch. Light fires a lightning arrow and forces them back. The crowd immediately recognizes Light's team as the ultra-powerful humans from Doggas, and the elves hurriedly retreat. Light smirks, knowing word of his presence will spread quickly across the elven nation. Meanwhile, a group of elf adventurers take a quest to investigate the tower. They drag a worn-out human girl with them as bait. When she collapses from exhaustion, they threaten to beat her until she moves. But then one elf feels a drop of saliva on his hand. Before he can react, a chimera chomps his entire head off. The other elves are shredded in seconds. The little girl drops to her knees shaking, thinking she will be next. But the chimera sniffs her and walks away because she is human. She sighs in relief, only for a group of intimidating men to walk out of the woods. She breaks down thinking she is about to be enslaved again. But the men pour healing potion on her and start discussing clean clothes and food. They are actually part of Light's rescue team. Their leader contacts Aoyuki to arrange transport. Up in the tower, Aoyuki was controlling all the nearby monsters to ensure they only target elves who harm humans. Ellie checks on her and worries that this whole situation might be a morality test from Light, but Aoyuki reassures her that the mission is running perfectly. When the ground team arrives at the safe village, they leave the girl in good hands and head back, discussing how messed up it is that elves use humans as monster bait. Back in the city, Sasha grinds her teeth in frustration because she cannot enter the tower alone. Powerful monsters lurk inside and White Knight mobilization is inevitable. If they arrive first, they will discover that she lied about killing Light. She needs a plan to reach the tower before them. The next morning, the Elven Council meets to discuss the rising monster threat. One official proposes sending the White Knights immediately, but the Captain Hardy calls the idea idiotic. Sending elite knights blindly is like using a fine sword to dig in the mud. The Queen agrees and decides to raise the reward for information. Once they have enough intel, the White Knights will move. The Chancellor mutters angrily, believing the Queen only sided with Hardy because she is his mother. Later, Hardy visits her chambers and thanks her. She tells him she would never send her precious son into danger. Still, the tower must be investigated soon. When Hardy suggests it might be a new Dark Lord, the Queen says the real problem is that a hero would also be born. Heroes are powerful masters, and if one appears, the elves must either recruit them or kill them before the hero destroys them. Hardy remembers hearing about a potential master years ago, but the Queen says the boy turned out to be normal. He was disposed of. Hardy admits he wishes he could have been part of that mission because he thinks humans are pests who must be exterminated. The next morning the guild posts even more quests about the tower. Light and his team join the crowd. While walking, Sasha hears Light's voice. She freezes, turns around, and demands he show his face. Light tries to play it cool and says he is wearing a mask to hide burn scars. But Sasha ignores him completely and smacks the mask right off his face.